Hi, my name is Soriya Ritchie. For my restoration presentation, the title is Revelation Inspires Change. I chose to do this based off of Unit 10. It talked about Nauvoo, and a subtopic of that unit was about the Relief Society, and I thought the revelation Joseph Smith received about Emma Smith and the Relief Society was very interesting, and Unit 14 is also about continuing revelation. My major concept is seeking insight into the changes of the church through revelation. We are growing as the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And I believe this is core doctrine because God continues to reveal his will to the saints today. For my academic source, I chose to do the group of the Foundations of the Restoration by the Sperry Symposium. The first one I chose was For Borders Must Be Enlarged by Tonnell and Rutherford, and she talked about how this is an ongoing process of the church from Joseph Smith's time to our now current prophet, Russell M. Nelson, and that shows that Revelation continues to inspire our church today as it has from the beginning. And my second was called The Morning Breaks, The Glorious Light of Restoration by Robert L. Millett, and he talks about again how the first vision started, and that was obviously the revelation that Joseph Smith received, and the foundation of our church started with revelation, and so that is something that needs to continue. And yeah. My first source is David A. Bednar, The Spirit of Revelation, and he talks about that even though we will encounter uncertainties in our lives, God always requires us to do our best, and even though we might not hear revelation in a loud way or through a vision of God and angels, that we can still find assurance in knowing that we are keeping our commandments and our covenants, and that we are still in the presence of God and acting in accordance to his will. My second was Ezra Taft Benson, The Gift of Modern Revelation, and he talks about that the Lord promised that there would be righteousness on the earth, and he gave revelation to the earth from heaven through the scriptures and things like that. And it shows that God has a time and a will for us, and he knows what we need from him and at what time. The two D&C sections of verses I chose was D&C 6:22 through 25. It says, Verily, verily, I say unto you, if you desire further witness, cast your mind upon the night that you cried unto me in your heart, that you might know concerning the truth of these things. Did I not speak peace to your mind concerning the matter? What greater witness can you have than from God? And now behold, you have received a witness, for if I told you things which no man knoweth, have you not received a witness? And behold, I grant to you a gift if you desire of me to translate, even as my servant Joseph Smith. And my second was D&C 8:1, Oliver Cowdery, Verily, verily, I say unto you, that assuredly as the Lord liveth, who is your God and your Redeemer, even so surely shall you receive a knowledge of whatsoever things you shall ask in faith, with an honest heart, believing that you shall receive a knowledge concerning the engravings of old records, which are ancient, which contain those parts of my scriptures of which have been spoken by the manifestation of my spirit. And I believe that these were good sources for my topic to pick because it talks about the Lord saying that you need to ask and you need to have a pure heart and you need to be open with him, and then he will let you know what is right and what you should do. And he will give us peace. For my Joseph Smith papers quote, I chose, A revelation I give unto you concerning my will. Behold, thy sins are forgiven thee, and thou art an elect lady, whom I have called Murmur not, because of things which thou hast not seen, for they are withheld from thee in the world, which is wisdom in me in a time to come, and the office of thy calling shall be for a comfort unto my servant Joseph, thy husband in his afflictions, with consoling words in the spirit of meekness, and thou shalt go with him at the time of his going, and be unto him a scribe, that I may send Oliver whithersoever I will, and thou shalt be ordained under his hand to expound scriptures and exhort the church according as it shall be given thee by my spirit, for he shall lay his hands upon thee, and thou shalt receive the Holy Ghost, and thy time shall be. And this was part of the quote that was included in unit, I forgot, 10, I think, about Emma being an elect lady, and he received this revelation about Emma, and eventually she came to be president of the Relief Society, and she helped organize that and the foundation for it. Two key concepts. One I chose was we need to remember that God directs the church through his leaders. We each have the power to pray about things for ourselves and see where we stand with them. And two, our church has been built on revelation from the beginning. Therefore, it should not come as a shock to people that things continue to change. My key takeaway is revelation has always been essential to our religion, whether it is now or in Joseph Smith's time. If we come across a topic within the church that is hard to understand or accept, we need to pray and connect with God in order to receive revelation and answers. Thank you.